All right, here we go. So stitching the T, it's important that when you draw the T, you make the top part as long as the legs on the sides is what I'm referring to. Then mark your front, trace it on the back side lightly so you can have so you'll have some help. All right, so I have B for back and F for front. All right, I'm going to start from behind because I want to keep the knot out of sight. I pull it up to the knot, but I don't pull too hard, otherwise it'll go through the paper. The first stitch I'm going to do is a dolphin dive. All right, I do a dolphin dive. I just go up and I go down. Pull my string, make sure it's all the way there. Now I begin with the back stitch, okay? So pay attention because that first stitch is different than the rest of them. Now I do the back stitch. I go down the road and I come up a little bit of a distance from the last hole. Pulling my string all the way, what do? I go back to the old hole. It's important that you don't go near it, but that you actually go through the old hole, all right? I do this again. I go down the road. Going down the old hole. Now, for this paper tee, your stitches are going to be kind of big. When you're doing it on the fabric, on the pillowcase, or on the apron, it will your stitches will have to be shorter. But for this, I'm going to use larger stitches. You'll notice on the front side, it's just one single line. There are no gaps between my stitches. And then you can see on the back, there's kind of a loop, all right, and my knot with my tail. Make sure that you keep this tail short. If it's too long, it'll get in the way and it will cause problems. If it's too short, it might mess you up. But about right there is a good size. The question you should be asking is, ooh, what am I going to do now? I'm getting to the top of the T. Don't worry if you're a little bit off. This doesn't have to be perfect. I'm checking that you understand what the back stitch is and how to navigate this little turn. I'm going to decide to go right. I'm going to pop out here. Go through this old hole. Although I turn, I'm still doing the back stitch. It's important that you are pulling on the string, not too tight, not too hard, because you'll rip the paper. But you want to check every once in a while to make sure that there's no slack or there's no extra string hanging in the back. You can get caught on your finger. It can get caught in a knot around itself. A common mistake people make is they make their string too long. The longer your string, the greater chance you have of getting it in a knot. Okay, see, because I didn't do a really good job of transferring the line through the back, I'm kind of thrown off, but that's all right. I'll just keep going in this direction that I think is straight. It's important that you make the top end of this T long. If it's too short, you won't be able to demonstrate what it is that I need you to. And then I'll ask you to do it again, okay? Now I've gotten here, and now's the question, what do I do? Where do I go from here? I want to get back here. I want to finish this side, but how am I going to get there from here? This is when we use the tunnel or the weave, whichever you prefer to call it. I'm going to simply stick my needle through here and wrap my string around this other string until I get to the place where I want to start again. And the reason why I do that is to keep it nice and neat and to make sure that there's nothing that can be snagged or pulled, okay? Now I've gotten over here, I'm going to continue going the other way. I'm going to pop out and boom, there I go. And I continue. Always going back to the old hole, all right? And what you're going to see pretty soon here is that I end it similar to the technique I used to get back to this other side. Okay, now very important. This is also where a lot of people make a mistake. I'm at the end. And remember, this string right here should always be past your finger. If it ever runs out, then you know you have to end it. I have enough left over, but here's how you end it. Very important, watch this. I go like this, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I didn't stretch these out. I did them all nice and tight. All of my little wraps that I just did were right here. Don't make the mistake of going 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 all the way down here. You do it right here, and then once you've done that, you're going to take the needle and you're going to end it by going backwards through all the little tunnel that you made. And this is essentially a knot, and it will prevent the string from coming out. It might be a little bit tough to pull. Then you pull it out like that. Take your scissors and you cut it, and I should see this little end right there that lets me know you got to the end. All right, and that is a T. That's the back, and there's your front. All right.